What's up, guys? It's Brian here. Today I'm bringing you guys a review of the brand new Darth Maul's Sith Infiltrator from LEGO Star Wars. Set number is 75383, contains 640 pieces, 4 minifigures, and retails for $70 US. So right off the bat, the price to part ratio is not terrible. The box is a very thick boy. Didn't expect that. And the back of the box gives you some look at the play functions. I don't think the box art is very good. I don't think it does the ship justice at all. But let's get into the Darth Maul Sith Infiltrator. So I personally had pretty low expectations for this set when the render first came out, but I think the details in person are much better than what the box art suggests. I especially like how the back looks and how rounded out it is back there. With all the different tiles and greebling that they used. And there are a few little functions on this thing. First of all, the landing gear folds up individually of each other and folds in very nicely right there. The back, there's not really landing gear, it's just the back of the ship like that. But it's very swooshable, it's very sturdy, and the wings do open on these little hinge joints. You only have to open them twice, and I like how it becomes nice and even so you can fly this thing around and play with it. It's very good for playability. This is a very good toy. Now, there's not a lot of wasted space in here. Up front here, this whole section is where the spring-loaded shooters are. So you press down on these two little ingot pieces here, and you fire the spring-loaded shooters. So that's what this space up here is being utilized for. This middle section right here is actually where the Darth Maul probe droids are. As you can see right here, there are 3 of them in this set, built just like this. Part of me, while I was building, wished that these were the disc pieces with the stud in the middle to make them look a little more round, but then I realized they wouldn't fit into the interceptor properly, but all 3 of them sit in there. And then there's a little bombing function where you just pull on this little tab right here. You can kind of see it, the way it releases its hold on this little hinge door right here, and the rubber piece pushes it back into place. But when you open it up, the 3 probe droids go right out. And to reset it, I just flip it upside down, pull this, and it goes right back in there. That's very seamless. I like the way that's done. The probes kind of go everywhere, but I guess that's kind of the point. It's a very good bombing function, quote unquote. Now, I like the details that they did for up here, the very subtle red, so you can get a glimpse into the cockpit, even though that's not really what it's intended for. There's some nice greebling along the sides. It's the same on either side. Now, the main function is the cockpit area itself, which opens up here. These 2 little sections open up, and this part folds down, and Darth Maul's speeder bike is in here. So just in real time for you, I'm going to put Darth Maul onto his little speeder. There's no studs for him to sit down on. He just has to grip onto the little handlebars. This thing is not the best build in the world. It slides around quite a bit. It could be a little awkward to get him seated. I actually got lucky and got him seated pretty well. But the back should be a little taller, but the reason why this speeder is built the way it is so that it can fit in the cockpit perfectly with Darth Maul sitting in it and then fold up nice and snug, which is very cute. By the way, this is a printed dish. This is a very, very nice print. But yeah, there he is inside the cockpit on his little bike. There's only one print in there, that little common control panel, nothing too crazy there, and just some space down there for the speeder bike to sit, and it sits very nicely. I like this feature quite a bit, honestly. These little pieces can sometimes come off their hinges pretty easily, these quarter rounded pieces. But yeah, overall, I like that feature quite a bit. And again, the detailing is very nice on this thing. I just don't like the shaping up here. I feel like there's too many studs exposed on all of these wedge plates, and too many anti-studs exposed too from like the sides of the wedge plates. Like all of this under here, it just looks sloppy for what this set is, for what this ship is. It's a very sleek ship, and it's not very sleek in the front. If you look at it from the top down, I like that angle a bit because you can see all the shaping they were going for with the colors, the different grays. But that's about it for the set itself. Let's retract the landing gear, or extend the landing gear, I should say. Put this thing back down. And there you have it. That's the Sith Infiltrator. I like this build way more than I thought, actually. And a crazy part of the set I was going to get to later is that there are no stickers at all. There's that printed dish. There's the printed console on the inside, the printed Saw Gerrera plaque, but that's it. There's no stickers at all. I think a sticker could have been interesting right here, but I also don't really have a great reference point for what the ship looks like, so I'm not going to speak out of turn there. But let's take a look at the minifigures that come in the set. Now we're going to start off with probably the most controversial figure in the set, and that is the new Darth Maul. I personally like the robe printing. I know some people think he's a little over-detailed. I like it. I think it's new, it's interesting. It's not the same old boring black Sith robes that Darth Maul does kind of wear. But I like the graphic design for the torso and legs. It really is the face that's throwing a lot of people off. People either like it or hate it. But why did they take his pupils away? This is the Clone Wars Darth Maul from 2021. Why did they take his pupils away? I get that they're going for a bit of a consistent look with characters that have colored eyes, but with the new Palpatine, for instance, that minifigure does not have printed pupils, and it looks silly. I just don't get it. I just wish he had those printed pupils, and this would be a great figure. Now, another little nitpick is that since this set already came with cloth pieces, I don't know why this also didn't come with a cape and maybe a hood piece. I think that looks actually really cool. I don't have a cape piece to put on him right this second, but that would have been pretty cool since he does wear a cape and hood in the scene that's kind of being portrayed in this set. But regardless, I mean, the figure's fine, he just needs pupils. And the next figure we'll take a look at is little Anakin Skywalker. This is a cute figure. The only thing that's really different here, I mean, he does have a different torso and face print and everything, but the only thing that's really, like, innovative for this figure is the new use of this Harry Potter hairpiece in dark tan for a young Anakin. I think it looks fine. Here's what the old hairpiece looked like on a very old variant of Anakin. He does kind of have that 1960 Beatles cut, the perfect bowl cut. That's kind of what he's supposed to have, but I don't know. I like a little change in pace for this figure. The face prints are slightly different. He does have an alternate face on the other side. This is one of the most recent versions of Anakin, where he had a little bit of a stern face, but this is kind of a shocked, like, oh my gosh, Qui Gon's fighting the Phantom Menace, ha ha ha. But I think the front face, slightly updated, but nothing too crazy. And that's it. He doesn't get any accessories or anything, but that's little Annie. Now, last up for the characters that actually go with the Infiltrator itself, we have a new variant of Qui Gon. To be honest, I'm not all caught up and familiar with my Qui Gon variants, so I'm not sure if this torso and leg print is new specifically, or the face, actually. I'm not sure if that's a new face either. But this is my first Qui Gon since 2014, the MTT set, which used a kind of a generic torso and legs, and his face was not the most accurate in the world. I like this Qui Gon face quite a bit. I like the gray in his beard, and he does have a double-sided face as well. His fighting Darth Maul face, which came out really nice. I'll take the poncho off the figure, which I'm very, very glad this figure actually came with the poncho. I feel like since they were going to include Saw Gerrera's cape anyway, they figured they might as well throw an extra cloth piece in. That's kind of why I think that Qui-Gon got a cape. It is very accurate to the scene, though. But, yeah, there's Qui-Gon. And this is a very good Qui-Gon. It's now the best one I have in my collection. Not much else to say about it. I like the figure quite a bit. Ever since Rogue One came out, there has been one figure at the tip top of my Star Wars minifigure most wanted list, and that is the one main character we were missing from Rogue One. He popped up in so many other pieces of media along the line, down the line, including Andor, and here he is, finally in minifigure form. I never thought we'd ever see the day. It's Saw Gerrera. This is easily a top 10 LEGO Star Wars figure of all time for me. I just truly can't believe how great this figure is. From basically everything you could think of. His staff is whatever, obviously, it's just a staff. The face print, very, very good. He does have two face prints as well. I like the scars going across his face. That's just very accurate for Saw. The grizzled look of his beard, it's all grayed. I like this angrier look better than the first one, honestly. Really, really like the way that came out. It's just, the face is very good. The hairpiece is fine. I feel like they could have gone with a couple different hair pieces for him because he has some different, like, his hair's messed up in different ways in every piece of media. So the hairpiece is fine. The cape is incredible. It is a new cut for this cape, I believe, with these little frayed off marks at the bottom. Very, very cool. I'm so glad they included a cape. Now, we gotta disassemble this figure a little bit to see the rest of it. But the armor piece, very, very good. There was a little bit of a controversy about it being dark green, but I don't see what other color it possibly could have been. I don't think it should have been any of the grays or sand blue or whatever people were saying. Dark green is perfect. But the print on the front perfectly matches the print underneath, so it's not really covering anything up. There are some details on the back it's kind of covering, but I mean, unless you want to display it without the armor for some reason, or the cape, you're not going to see that back there. My one little nitpick they could have done with this figure is given him a dual molded leg for his robotic leg, make it like a dual molded and even a light gray. Obviously, like a metallic silver would have been perfect, but that's just a nitpick. This figure, to me, is honestly perfect. I'm so happy that I finally have a Saw Gerrera in my collection, and I'm so happy that it's this good. Obviously, just to mention, you do get another 25 years of LEGO Star Wars plaque. Doesn't say Saw Gerrera on it or anything. That's fine. Holy cow, this figure is everything I could have wanted a Saw Gerrera minifigure to be. The extra pieces in the set, you can see right here, only a few little interesting bits. This 2x4 plate is so that you can connect the 25th anniversary stands, but that's about it, and no stickers as well. So guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I bought this set for exactly one reason, and that one reason was for Saw Gerrera, because this figure on the secondary market is gonna be between 30 and 40 bucks. This whole set is 70. I just could not justify buying Saw on his own, even though I really wanted to. This was really all I wanted from the set when it was first rumored and then announced and revealed and all that stuff. However, this set really surprised me. I thought the build experience was actually very fun. There was not a lot of sub-assemblies at all, just a couple of little things on the wings and around the back and some of these little doors, but that's about it. Most of the stuff you just build. Like, you just build the set in one big assembly, which is something that, I don't know, I look for different kinds of builds these days for LEGO Star Wars, and this actually kind of surprised me for being a bit of a different style build. There's no BS with this set either. There's no side builds that are, like, dumb and don't have anything to do with this set. The probe droids fit in the compartment very nicely. The speeder is the cockpit, as you saw back there, and Darth Maul fits on the speeder nicely. I think the figure selection is fine. And I'm gonna say it, the price is not bad. Now, I like to think of these anniversary figures, it's easier for me to contextualize them without the anniversary figure, so take $5 off the price, and look at all of this for 65 bucks. It's really not bad. I would have loved to see an additional minifigure. I think we could have gotten an updated Captain Panaka. Would have been super cool, but it definitely would have made the price a little too high. But the set itself is good. Like, it's a good build. It fits into my cube shelves nice, which is something that I actually do consider these days when purchasing sets, is where I'm going to display them. The play functions are good. There's no wasted space up in the front area. And genuinely, I think this is actually a pretty good set. Now, I don't have any of the past Sith Infiltrators to compare to, and I know that it's been downscaled quite a bit from older ones, but this just, it feels more right. If this feels like what the vehicle should be. It's a nice, bulky, solid build. Again, I don't love the aesthetics of the front. I feel like it could have been designed completely differently, but that would have changed the entire set and build and maybe even price point 100% differently. But all that being said, I'm surprised. I'm taken aback by how good this set is. If you don't have a Sith Infiltrator and you like the vehicle, then I recommend picking it up. I think you can't go wrong with Saw Gerrera, especially being the anniversary figure that comes in the set. The main reason I bought it, and I'm surprised to have a pretty decent build in the end, and I really can't complain too much. I like this thing more than I thought I would. So that's gonna just about do it for my thoughts. I love how I spent the same amount of time talking about the set in the end than I did about just Saw Gerrera himself. But yeah, that's mostly where my thoughts are. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy to finally have Saw Gerrera. It's such a good day for me. Anyway, that's gonna just about do it. Thank you guys very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. This has been Brian from Watermelon Studios. Peace out, guys.